this will break your heart. I'm never gonna hold you back. I'm always gonna have your back. So try to remember that. I hope you're happy. I hope you're good. I hope you get what you wish for.
Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday night. I know I've been doing a lot of heavy stuff with like the 12 steps and the readings, and not everything is GA. Although I'm a fan, there's definitely a lot more ways to be healthy and to not gamble. So I was looking for something a little bit more fun to do, and I wish you could see the piece of paper that I'm looking at. It makes it look a little more fun because it's bright and it's got pictures. But tonight I want to talk about the health triangle. And this is something we worked on at group. And there's 3 sides of health that make up a triangle. And the first one would be physical, which is probably what came to mind when we think about health. So that's taking care of our body, cleanliness, nutrition, and fitness. The next part would be our social health. So that involves getting along with others, making friends, and giving support. And then the last one is our mental and emotional health, liking who we are, expressing our emotions, and managing stress. So you can see there's a lot of elements to the triangle. And I can see that the triangle could be a little challenging right now. It's not as easy to socialize. And I'm going to ask you some questions regarding each one. And, just answer them yes or no to yourself as we go along. Of course, I'll answer them so that I'm staying transparent and accountable. And here goes. For physical, do you get around 8 hours of sleep each night? I try. Do you eat a well-balanced diet, which includes a healthy breakfast? I try. I said yes or no, right? I've been actually better about this breakfast thing the last week or two. I keep my body, teeth, and hair clean. Yes. I do at least 30 minutes of some form of physical activity each day. I would have to say 5 out of 7. Most of the time more, but definitely 5 out of 7 if the weather cooperates. I avoid use of tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs. Yes, that's why I'm crabby lately, because I want my cigarettes. Because I'm not having alcohol or gambling or anything else, so I want my cigarettes. And 6, I see a doctor and dentist for regular checkups. Yes. So now the mental health. I generally feel good about myself and accept who I am. Yes. I am able to express my feelings clearly and calmly. Are you able to express your feelings clearly and calmly? Some days I'm going to say no. I try. I'm working on that one. Can you accept constructive criticism? Again, I can. But it's a whole lot easier when I have a good frame of mind. Do you have at least one activity that you enjoy doing by yourself? I hope you do. This was part of a conversation I had this morning. And I love being by myself. And there's lots of activities I'll do by myself, whether it's exercise or cleaning the house or going out. I've gone to a Renaissance fair by myself. I go out to eat by myself. I like myself. I'm kind of cool to hang out with. In case you didn't notice, you must have noticed you're here. That's my attempt of humor this evening. Do you feel like people like and accept me for who you are? I do believe that But I think that I have some work to do, especially as I ramp up No Kiddin. And I talked about this the other night. Like, I get a little bit stuck. You know, what is there an expectation? And I guess since it's my podcast and it's my company, I could really do what I want, and I need to not worry about being other people's peaches. That was the context I chatted with you about. So I may not be for everybody, and that's okay. I have to be okay with that. Mental. I like to learn, think about new things, and develop new skills. Do you like to learn, think about new things, and develop new skills? One thing I keep hearing, whether I'm listening to that CD thing I was telling you about, or the challenge that I'm in online right now, the Rise Up Challenge, or any real leadership that's talking the theme of reading. And by reading, I mean whether it's a book or it's online, that just keeps coming up. And I think one of the catchiest little slogans that stuck with me the last couple of weeks are readers are leaders, or leaders are readers. And I guess my interpretation of that is, you know, the more you educate, the more you can be a successful leader. And I believe that for a long time. I don't know if you guys do this or not, but I read the same book multiple times. Not lately, because my Audible is like filled to the brim with books I haven't even gotten to yet, but it's good. And the point is, you're in different places when you read the book, right? If you read it 5 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and then today, how you interpret it may look very different. Not so much with fiction and all that, but if you're into books or readings that help you grow as an individual, it's pretty interesting to read them at different times. Okay, social. This is the one that I'm sure everybody's struggling with, right? Because we can't be too social, or maybe we're being too social with the people in our own houses. So, do you have at least one friend that you keep in contact with regularly? I'm a yes. I got a list. Do you respect and care for your family? Again, not the I always interpret this like the bucket, like people living in a house, parents and children. So that doesn't really apply to me. But I do respect and care for my family. My not in my house family. Do you know how to disagree with others without getting angry? And yes, I know how. Again, do I do it all the time flawlessly? No. And I think that's why the triangle is so important, is if you have is it an equilateral triangle? Is that the right words? But the ones that are equal on all sides, so it has to be equilateral. If your mental health and physical health is good, or for me, if those things are good, then it's a whole lot easier to accept the criticism or disagree with others without getting angry. So I guess it depends on the topic too, and how passionate I am about it. Are you a good listener when a friend or family is in need? And I think I could do a better job of this. I think there's people that would tell you I do a pretty good job, but I know that I could do a better job. I still have a racing brain that when someone's talking, and this just takes practice, and I guess the first part is knowing that I have a problem. And then the second part is working on it. And another thing that had stuck with me through my learnings was, if someone's, I think this was actually college class, if someone is talking and you hear something and you're already formulating a response in your mind, then you've stopped listening. So you don't even hear their whole point of view. And once you know that, it becomes interesting to practice it and to observe yourself doing it. Do you get support from others when you need it? So considering the fact that our arena is addiction, gambling addiction specifically, it's so easy to have too much pride to ask for help or support. And I'm very proud of all the people that I see on social media that do ask for help. Hey, it's day one, I'm struggling. Or, hey, I want to gamble tonight. I want to drink tonight. I want to do whatever. And they do reach out for help. And my opinion has evolved to a couple things when it comes to asking for help. It doesn't make you weak to ask for help. It actually makes you stronger because you're fighting the fight and you're using the tools to help you fight the fight. So it's always, always okay to ask for help. The other side of that is, and they use the word support. I am of the school of thinking, though, my time is precious, your time is precious. So if there was someone that always wanted help but wasn't ever taking any action, I might not be as invested in being supportive to that person. And that's just the way my brain works and my values are. And maybe I could change that. But I don't know that I have to. I think people need to want it. And if they want it, they're going to take action. Now, if they take action and are still struggling, then I have a different opinion. I'll jump through whatever hoops I can to help someone who's jumping through their own hoops to help themselves. Okay. I got carried away a little. And the last one, do you say no to people if they ask you to do something that you feel uncomfortable with? And again, I'm pretty okay at this. The other thing I've learned, though, too, is if you put your values out there on the front side, then maybe people won't even ask you to do the things you're uncomfortable with. And what I had just said on the last one about support and stuff, is if I'm trying to think of how to word this. So there's someone that I've been chatting with, and we're having some pretty heavy conversations. And I actually said it in this way. It's like, hey, I'll try to help you any way I can. And this has to do with comfortable with. I'll try to help you any way I can. However, if you don't like it or you don't, again, take action, I'm going to tell you no when you want my time. So I put that up front. So it's not 3 months down the road where nothing's changed. I'm not a fan of nothing changing. Nothing not changing? Double negative? I'm not a fan of standing still and not being progressive. And I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but either way, it's just me. So I guess what I'm trying to say and why I'm throwing the health triangle out there is, there's two schools of thoughts right now with us being locked up. Some people are probably going one extreme and working out as much as they can and taking care of themselves. Excuse me. Whether it's reading or, working out or eating right or whatever, they're making the most of this time. Or maybe there's people who are hiding behind a bottle or the television or whatever, not positive things. So this is going to end someday and we have to live with ourselves on the other side of it. And I really think that we have such a gift to have this time where we can maximize things that we haven't before. So that's why I'm bringing up this health triangle. If we're on lockdown for another week or two, at least, and I think actually we're going till May 15th in New York, if I heard right. So a few more weeks. What can you do in those few weeks to balance out your health triangle and make it an equilateral? So that's my food for thought for tonight. I am not writing all those questions in the show notes. Not because I'm lazy, but because I'm lazy, I guess. And if you want to answer them, hopefully you played along and answered as I went through. And I think the follow-up to that would be, if you did say no to something, pick one item. It doesn't even have to be all of them. Just pick one thing to work on while we're in lockdown. That's my advice, homework for today. Sorry, I went back to giving you homework, but we can't grow and change and do better if we're not doing homework. All right, beautiful people. I love you. I am going to try to take what's called Strong class tonight, and my friend Anna will be very happy if I make it. So that's my funness for this evening. I hope you guys have funness for this evening. I get to make up my own vocabulary too, right? There's nobody here to correct me. Anyway, have a good night, beautiful people. So long.